Hello everyone and welcome to the Kiki London YouTube channel. My name's Amanda and in today's video we are going to be doing a spring chrome nail art design. We're going to be doing a little bit of chrome stamping and experimenting with some textured chrome nail art as well. So I really hope you all enjoy watching. Now for my base in this set I'm going to be using the beautiful Nude Delight. I don't think I've wore this one on my own nails for a while, if ever, but it is such a beautiful natural nude. We will talk a little bit more about this shade when we're applying it, but I just wanted to mention the Kiki London stripe liner brush. If you don't have this brush in your collection, I highly recommend it. Even if you don't do any hand painted nail art, I actually use this brush a lot for getting it nice and close to the cuticle and sidewall area. It's brilliant as well if you are building with either the easy build up gel or the sculpting gel to help self level your product and move it around where you need it. For example, if you've got a little dip in the nail and you're wanting to pull the gel to a certain area, I find it really helpful for that. You'll see throughout my first coat on this set as well, I apply a majority of the product with the bottle brush, but then I'll come in with the stripe liner brush to get up nice and close to those cuticles and around the sidewalls as well. It's really helpful as well if you're not confident getting too close to the cuticles. This helps you leave a little gap between the finished gel polish and the cuticle, but creating a nice neat line. So I highly recommend this brush if you haven't already checked it out. Now on to this shade. This beautiful nude is actually quite a natural shade, so it's not too opaque compared to some of the nudes in the Kiki collection. So it's perfect for anyone who might not be able to wear gel polish or colours on their nails. For example, maybe they've got to have quite a neutral looking base for their job. It gives off a really nice natural finish, especially in the one coat. When you come in and apply that second coat, you do get a little bit more opacity coming through, but it's still a very nice natural looking shade. So I highly recommend this one as well if you haven't already got it in your collection. I wanted quite a soft, opaque looking nude for today's design because I was going for a little bit of a negative space cutout design, and I quite like pairing those with a soft natural nude. So I thought this one would work perfectly. As you can see, once you come in and apply that second coat, it still looks quite natural, but if you did have any imperfections you wanted to cover on the natural nail bed, it would definitely cover them up. Now if you wanted this particular shade but you wanted it to look a lot more opaque, then you could come in and do a third coat if you wanted, but ideally it's meant to be more of a semi-opaque colour and keeping everything with quite of a natural tone. It's got a really nice peachy nude shade to it, as you can see as well, so I felt as though it matched my skin tone quite nicely. Now when it comes to applying your second coat of gel polish, you can apply this ever so slightly thicker than the first coat, but you want to be keeping your layers in general on the fairly thin side so that you don't end up with a too thick or bulky nail. You may find as well that if you apply your gel polish too thickly, it can have curing issues as well. So thin coats work a lot better than thick coats. I don't tend to come in with my stripe liner brush with that second coat, especially when I'm using such a nice natural shade, because you've already got that nice neat cuticle line on the first coat. So this is our base done, and then for our colour I'm going to be using the beautiful mint lolly. So this is from the Macaron Collection, and as you can see it's a really beautiful pastel minty blue, but it has these speckled black effects in the gel polish, so it is brilliant for this time of year. Even if it's Easter or spring nails, it's perfect for mini egg nails. It pairs absolutely beautifully with the eggshell top coat as well, and there are quite a few shades in that Macaron collection as well, so I will try and leave the swatch video for this collection linked in the description box below, as it has been one of my favorite collections, and after a long winter it was really fun to get some spring shades on the go. Now I've loaded up my stripe liner brush with a generous amount of gel polish, and I'm going to use this brush to do this entire design. So we're going to come straight down the nail, and I want to cut off this half of the nail and have this half with that mint lolly. So as you can see, I used my stripe liner brush to get a nice neat line down down the center of the nail, and then I just colored that in, keeping it nice and thin because we will come in and do a second coat. And then on this now, we're going to just do some like abstract shapes. So I'm going to start off with a little swirl coming from the center of that cuticle and just going off one side, keeping everything nice and simple. But the stripe liner brush does make shapes like this really easy because it's medium to long in length, but it's quite thin as well. So it's perfect for creating things like straight lines, hence the name stripe liner, but it's also great for your swirls and any other hand painted nail art as well. So I like to load it up and really run that gel polish through the bristles, especially when I'm doing cutout designs like this, because you are still going to need a generous amount of product on the brush. And then you just want to let the brush do the work for you. So I like to apply a small amount of pressure, but not too much, because you don't want the bristles to fan out too much, as then you've got less control over the product. Now, like I said, I do want to do 2 coats of this because I really want this color to pop, and it does pop a lot more with that second coat. So I kept everything nice and thin, and we're just going to come over the top and do the second coat. So you can see here, you're able to control your gel polish by the amount of pressure you apply it with your brush. So I like to come in slightly away from the line and the cuticle area and then apply a little bit of pressure. The brush is going to fan out, and then you're able to pull that color where you want it to go. I never used to be able to do freehand lines like this, or this half line, half design now, without this brush. This brush has made it so much easier. Same with swirls as well. I used to feel like I used to come in over and over and over again to get a nice neat curve. With the stripe liner brush, that's really not necessary. Now with the second coat, you want to make sure that you're keeping it nice and neat and keeping exactly on top of your first coat, just to avoid any patchiness or unevenness in the color. If you are a little bit unsteady, or if you're not very confident in hand painted nail art, then you can use the flash cure function on the Kiki London lamp. So what I would do is do one section, flash cure for 10 seconds, and then come in and do a second section. This way you're breaking the hand painted nail art down, and you haven't got to put so much pressure on yourself to get all of the design done in one go. Now we are going to be doing chrome stamping on these 2 nails, and when you're doing an isolated chrome design, you want to have a matte surface. So I'm going to come in and apply the Kiki London matte top coat to both of these nails, just keeping it nice and thin because we're mainly applying this just to give ourselves a super matte finish. This one is running low, so you can see I just give the bottle a little shake there just to bring some of that product on to the brush. And again, if you don't feel confident getting a neat application with just the bottle brush, you can come in again with that stripe liner brush and use that for around the cuticles and sidewalls of the nail. We're going to pop that in to cure for 30 seconds, and then, although these are super matte, I want to come over the top and buff these just gently with the 180 grit side of the buffer. Now this is just, I find doing this a lot easier because when you are chrome stamping, you only want the chrome to stick where your stamped image is. So by buffing over the surface of the nail, I find when we brush off that excess chrome, it all comes off nice and easy. So we're just going to clean off any dust that's left on the nails from buffing. I don't want to wipe over with any alcohol, as I find this can sometimes affect the chrome application. And then for our chrome, we're going to be using the beautiful gold mirror chrome. So as you can see, you get a generous amount in the pot. I've used this quite a few times and there's still loads left. Now for chrome stamping, you are going to need 2 stampers, one for your stamping and one for your chrome application. So as you can see, I've applied a generous amount of chrome to that second stamper. I'm going to apply my stamping polish. This is regular black stamping polish. So I've applied a generous amount, scraped off the excess, picked up that image with my stamper, and I'm just using a lint roller to remove any excess image. This is really important. You don't want any stamping polish on the nail that you don't want your chrome to go onto. And then we're very quickly going to come in and bounce that chrome straight over the stamping polish. It is really important that you work super quick because you need to get that chrome on before the stamping polish dries, and stamping polish does dry super quickly. So you're then going to want to come in and take a little bit of acetone to clean your stamping plate. So I quickly did that, and then I'm going to come in and add on another little flower. So we're adding our stamping polish on. I like to use a generous amount, especially when chrome stamping, so it stays tacky. going to pick up that little flower, remove that excess stamping polish, get this stamped down on the nail, just pressing it down, and then really quickly going to tap on or bounce on that chrome. And as you can see, it sticks on absolutely beautifully. I love the effect that chrome stamping gives off. So once again, we're going to do this again on the ring finger as well. Now you can do this with a gel polish as well. I do believe I've got a video up on the channel. I don't know if I do chrome stamping of gel polish, but there is a gel polish stamping video up on the channel. But I find stamping polish does work a little bit easier, especially with some of the more detailed designs, because of how quickly it dries and you don't have to cure it. But it works beautifully with these chromes. And when I last did chrome stamping on the Kiki channel, the Kiki London chromes hadn't released yet. So if you go back and look at the chromes in that video, you'll see they are nowhere near as pigmented as the Kiki London chromes. These chromes are just so highly pigmented that a little bit really does go a long way. I wanted to show this more solid image here as well. So this is a larger, more solid image, yet the chrome still stamped down on it beautifully. You want to leave it a few seconds before you come in and dust off the excess chrome, because you don't want to dust that off until your stamping polish has fully dried, but it does only take a few seconds. And then we will top coat to seal that stamping in further along in the video. On to the next design. This was a little bit of an experiment. I have seen these textured chrome nails all over Instagram, and I've been wanting to have a little go, but like I said, it's first time doing it, so it was a little bit of an experiment. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to apply a thicker coat of the no wipe top coat over the entire nail, and then whilst that's still wet, I'm going to run a little eyelash spoolie through that top coat to create some texture. And then you want to get it in really quickly to cure, because it will start self-leveling and then you're going to lose your texture. Once that is cured, I only cured it for 30 seconds, although the no wipe rubber top coat does require 60-second cure. I find the chrome grabs on a lot better with a 30-second cure for this one. So I come in then and I'm just burnishing over my chrome using the Kiki London silicone tool. I picked up way too much here, that's why you can see so much excess fallout. Like I said, a little bit goes a long way, but you can see it creates a really fun effect. Now I want to play around with this a little bit more and see if I can create a more textured look. So this was just a first attempt, but let me know in the comments below if you have tried this. Once you have got your chrome on and you've created your textured effect, you do still need to seal it in. So I'm going to use the no wipe top coat for this, because if I use the rubber top coat, I feel like because it's that little bit thicker, I'd lose some of the texture. So I'm just applying a thin coat of this over the entire nail. And then because chrome is quite messy, I'm going to come in with a little bit of alcohol on the round nail art brush and just clean off some of that excess chrome, and then we're going to pop this now in to cure for 60 seconds. Now again, although the no wipe top coat does only require 30-second cure, I did a double cure because we'd only done a half cure on the previous rubber top coat application, so I just wanted to make sure everything was cured. Now we're going to repeat this again on the little finger. So as you can see it coming in, and although the rubber top coat is already a more thicker consistency, I just applied a little bit more than I normally would, just so I could run that spoolie through it and create a little bit more texture. I do kind of want to see if I can experiment doing this with either the sculpting gel or the easy build up gel, just because they are a thicker consistency product. I feel as though you'd get more of a textured effect with those. So that's definitely something I'm going to try, and I will come back and let you guys know how it goes on. Now it is really important that once you've created your texture, you get it into cure super quickly, because it starts, the rubber top coat starts self-leveling quite quickly, and then you're going to lose some of that texture. So that's what happened a little bit on this now. I wasn't quick enough to get it into the lamp, so I don't feel as though the texture looked as good on this one as it did on the first nail, but I still really liked the effect because it's a little bit different and it's not something I've done before. Now when it comes to burnishing on your chrome, you just want to go in with your silicone tool, really rub it over and make sure you're getting in the grooves that you've created with with that eyelash spoolie, and then just float on your no wipe top coat. Come in once again and clean up with a little bit of acetone, and then cure that for 60 seconds just to make sure everything has cured. And then how fun does this look? Now we do need to come in and top coat those two nails we did our chrome stamping on, so I'm going to stick with the no wipe top coat for this and just apply a thin coat of this to both of those nails just to seal everything in, to make sure we don't have any chipping of the chrome. And when I'm doing any kind of chrome nail art, I try to float that top coat on, so you don't want to apply too much pressure with your brush when you first apply it on, but then I will apply a little bit of pressure just to get a nice neat application around those side walls. We then popped that in to cure for 30 seconds, and this is the finished result. I have to say I'm absolutely loving this set. I felt as though the mint and the gold worked really well together. Now to finish off, I'm going to come in with the Coconut Escape Cuticle Oil, apply a small amount of this to all of the nails, really going to give it a good massage in, as this does wonders for nourishing and replenishing the cuticles. And then to take care of the skin on my hands, I'm going to apply a pump of the new K&S Woody Rose hand lotion, and I like to apply this while my cuticle oil is not fully rubbed in, as then I find combining the two gives a really nice soft feel, and the two scents combined smell beautifully as well. And then this was the finished result. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of this design, and if you have tried textured chrome or chrome stamping, let me know in the comments below. As always, I will leave all the products I've used listed as well as linked in the video. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I would absolutely love it if you hit that subscription button. I upload new videos every single Friday. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.